self-defense is not just physical techniques. It's a
Right.
state of mind, a mindset that a person has to get into so that they can commit fully to the technique to make it work. These are simple techniques to learn, very simple. A person of any size, age, or stature can learn these and they'll be able to come away alive.
Is this somewhere I'm going to get hurt when we're doing this?
Oh, without a doubt. No, I'm kidding. No, you'll be fine. The first thing, we're going to work from starting from a long range and work our way in. So before a person manages to touch you or hit you or grab you is where we're going to start with this first defense.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just say you're going to throw a right punch for the head.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay. Now an attacker isn't going to stop. An attacker is going to go right for the nose or right for the jaw,
So
right for the eye.
this.
So this is what we're going to do. This is what we want to work on.
Yeah.
It's a sense of realism that I want everybody to get a feel for. Obviously, when you're working with your family, you're working with a loved one, you need to make an agreement with each other that you're not really going to hurt each other, but you're working together to make the techniques work. Okay? Right. So when a person, what I'd like to have everybody do when you throw the punch or you come in with a grab is that you can come in fast and let's just do what we call a 1-inch rule so that you can stop your fist 1 inch from the jaw or 1 inch from the nose or 1 inch from the eye or 1 inch from the stomach or 1 inch from somewhere else. But anyway, with that point in mind, it's still close enough that it's going to be, alarming to the person until you get used to the fist coming at you. That's the other thing. In 21 days, someone coming into your face is not going to be as surprising. It's not going to be as alarming to you. Right. And you'll be able to respond to the technique or respond to the attack, and your techniques will work all the better.
So what do we do?
Okay, first thing, in slow motion, go ahead and throw your punch. The defender is going to want to step in. And at the same time, you're working to deflect the movement away from you. You want to use the back of the wrist, the flat of the wrist, using the 2 bones in the arm as a brace. That's going to protect your arm, the defender's arm, a lot more, using the back of the arm here. Strike away. This also gets you set up for a punch or a counter strike or a rake across the face from here. Now when you're going to step in and you're aiming for soft tissue in the arm right here, then go ahead and turn and use that bone right there at the wrist and strike into the muscle.
Now, is this soft tissue, is it real sensitive?
Well, what's going to hurt is the pressure against the bone.
Okay, yeah.
Right there, and it's not going to take much.
Right.
And now there's like you said, this is soft tissue right in here. Plus, you've got the funny bone back in here. You've got several nerves in the arm that you can strike that will momentarily and temporarily disable the arm, put it to sleep. Just make it hurt enough so that arm isn't going to be used for a few seconds to give you time to get away or make your counter strike. So again, you step in to block. The counter strike, you have a full range of things to go for. Okay? We just want to work with specific targets that will enable you to maximize your ability to get away safe.
Right.
Eyes, nose, throat, groin. Simple. So if you're a smaller person, this target's going to be easier to get to. If you're about the same height, and again, these are vicious targets. You hit the nose, that's going to hurt. It'll really, really hurt. You hit the eyes. Even if you don't hit the eyes directly, you just hit around the eyes.
Now, isn't the idea behind these techniques is it'll give you that split second to get away from the situation?
Absolutely.
So you can get away?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
The severity of your counterattack, what you do in response, is reflected by the severity of the attack.
We're not going after the idea that we can teach you how to remove somebody's spleen then in this,
I don't want you to kill anybody.
Right, okay.
That's too heavy an issue. But you must do what it takes to get away. With another punch, just punching for the nose, person steps in, you make your block. You disable the arm temporarily, you make your counter strike. And you can hit with the open hand here. You can hit with the open hand here.
Right.
You can hit with the open hand here. You can hit with the open hand here or here.
Yeah. That's the painful part.
That's the part that's going to give you the time to get away.
Sure. Sure. Now, in some of the rehearsal we were doing, you had, I'd thrown a punch at you, and you'd actually taken my hand and twisted it around, or turn it backwards, I think it was. And what was that? What were we doing there?
Working off of a joint lock from another direction. If you block, if your instinct is to cover yourself, then as the punch comes in, you can use that to your advantage. That you cross your arm in front of you, and at that point, grab the hand. Don't grab the wrist. If you grab the wrist, they can still spin their hand around. You can still spin it around inside the grip. But you grab the thumb, the meaty part of the thumb, and you then have control of the wrist. Now, I recommend using two hands. You know, if you feel that you're strong, that's fine, but two hands is your insurance. From here, like I mentioned before, the techniques are all parts of circles.
Right.
From here, you want to make a very small circle.
Hello.
It doesn't take a lot. Right? Now, I can either go in or I can step back. Which feels worse?
Either one.
Either one's going to hurt. Okay, here's something to think about. You've got that person's wrist. Where you point their fingers is where they're going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
All right, so if it's out here, they're going to move with you.
Right.
Right? If it's over here, you can see it's taking you just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
You've got absolute control.
Mostly
absolute
control. And if there's a struggle, here's the deal. There's really no magic formula. It's a series of techniques. It's things that you can do. And you've got the person's wrist. If he tries to slap you, okay, you can duck under it, or you can just kick him. The easiest thing to do is as soon as, this is called pain compliance. You're struggling. He's struggling to get out of this, to try to right his arm. Go ahead and try to turn your wrist back again. Okay, so he's struggling. Just a kick to the knee.
Okay.
All his attention's down here, then you have full control over the wrist again. It's just that, sorry about that.
That's all right, that's all right. We got paramedics sitting right
Limp away
outside
from
here,
here.
just in case.
It's that causing a little bit of pain.
Sure.
That's going to enable the technique to work a little better. So it doesn't make any difference if you kick them in the knee, kick them between the legs, poke them in the eyes. You even just yell. And yelling is a very important part of self-defense. Number one, it attracts attention. Number two, it strengthens your abdomen. It'll make your abdomen, your stomach muscles tighten up and the muscles tighten up. It adds adrenaline to the technique, and it adds what's called shock value. The yell needs to come from down here. And if you imagine yourself as a volcano and the sound emanating from down below and coming up, rather than from the throat and yelling from here, you don't want to sound like Pee Wee Herman. You want to sound powerful.
Right.
So if you think of a large animal, a dragon, a bear, a tiger, the sounds that they make when we'll imagine a dragon. So what we're going to work with is, like I said, the shock value, and that's very important. So if looking at your face, you're calm. If, as an attacker, you have a certain mindset. And now with the ki, done properly, can make you jump a little bit. Okay?
It took my mind off the situation for about a half second.
Same thing. You're resisting against this.
Right.
He's pulling his wrist back. You yell, move into it.
And
that's going to give you that oomph to go into your technique and enable you to make the move successful.
What I want to do here, Jim, is I'm 190 pounds, and so we're kind of almost matched weight here. But what about, we talked about somebody of smaller stature. We have Anna offset here, and I'd like to bring her on.
Okay.
And I think Anna probably show how stature can actually work in their behalf. So, Anna, could you come up here real quick?
So, I'm going to feed you a punch, okay? And you're just going to do your block. Good. Now, I'm going to add the speed to it. As you will when you're training, when you're working on your 21 days, start slow. It's okay to start slow. And then, as you get more used to it and better at it, and your hand speed increases, then now notice where she's starting to block. She's moving in, hitting right there in the funny bone, and I don't know why they call it a funny bone. All right, I'm not the one laughing. All right, so From here. Good. Now you're close enough. This is an unnerving position for me to be in, right? She's underneath me. Now you can strike for the floating rib right in here. Go ahead. Harder. Yeah, good. And dads, be aware that your kids can hit really hard, right? You'll figure that one out real quick. All right, so again, now make it one move. That's what we're aiming for. So that when you have to do the technique, it becomes natural and it's one move. That's it. All right? Now if I punch low, you do a center block. And now you can punch with either this hand or the other hand. We'll do it again. There we go. Or both. That's it. Get them high and low. Very good. If we're grabbing, just knock the arms out of the way. There. Do it again. And what would the counter from there? Yes. You got their arms occupied and out of the way. Just come driving in with a knee. All right? Very good. All right. The other technique, when you're crossing the parry, crossing in front of you. Good. Start slow. Notice the body shifting that Ann is doing. She's stepping off to the side, away from this other arm. She's staying clear out of danger. All right? There we go. Now, add the grab. There. And the small circle. Both hands. There you go. And just twist the wrist. And wherever you point my fingers is where I'm going to go. That's the ticket. All right. And then from there, you pick up the speed. There we go. And she's being really good at taking care of me and not breaking my wrist. But from this point, you can see where my balance is starting to be broken. This is good. Take them to that point. It doesn't take much more to throw the person over. Okay, again. There we go. And then follow through slow all the way to the ground. Take the person all the way down. All right. And again, all the way to the ground. Now, you may want to make sure you've got a thick carpeted area to work on. Hardwood floors are a little severe, but still doable. All right. So now we're going to work a little more higher speed on this one. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to have you right over here, full speed, all the way to the ground. Okay. This is the result we're looking for. All the way to the ground. One more time. Now, from there, you've got options. You've got some choices. You can let go and run, or you can add some insurance. The simplest and easiest insurance is to take that knee and drive it right into him. Just kneel down on him. And then from there, you could spring off and take off running. The safest place to run away is that way. So you let go, you make your escape. Now, as I'm the attacker, I'm getting up. I'm looking this way. And the second it's going to take me to spin around and see where she's going, she's already gone. A person can move 11 feet per second at a dead run. And that's where hopefully they're going to take off at. So every second, 2 seconds, they're 22 feet away. If that person's just crawling up off the ground, there's no way they're going to try to outrun you. They've already lost the first round. You won.